Morning. We are here today to discuss some socialist thinkers and their interrogation of ecological thought. This is part of the UGC module Society and Ecology. We're going to speak about Murray Bookchin, who was an ecological thinker and an anarchist. Anarchism advocates a return to modes of living where the ruler and rule have direct contact, and there is active participation of members of a polity in management of resources. Ecological idealism has found its way into the anarchist ways of thinking through the desire for simple social forms that rely sensitively on surrounding environments. Murray Bookchin, an American anarchist theorist, is known for his work of integrating the ecological perspective into the anarchist philosophy of social change and revolution. Anarchism takes issue fundamentally with the social organization that ensures capitalist form of production and wage labor. In this respect, it is on the same track as communism or socialism, but it envisages a loosely governed, flexible, harmonious society, unlike communism, which envisages a centralized, strong party state controlling economy and governance. Anarchists believe that labor that produces goods must be applied socially through coordination, hence all wealth is social. Anarchists propose that social life that ensures harmony and freedom while ensuring that no one overly abuses the fruits of social production must be maintained. Bookchin, Kropotkin and others were the early proponents of anarchism, and then in the 19th century, Bookchin was subject to exile and persecution in France and other countries for his staunchly anti-authoritarian views. Bookchin accepted Marxist class analysis but did not accept the component of authoritarian socialist revolution, strongly rejecting the concept of dictatorship of proletariat. He also supported the active participation of peasants and lumpen proletariat, which is small farmers, unemployed persons, and so on, whereas Marx was all for complete proletarianization of the workforce. He rejected hierarchical and statist notions of rule at all levels. Anarchists of the 20th century have taken these principal ideas that Bookchin, Kropotkin, and others propounded forward into many directions. Murray Bookchin's contribution has been to see ecology and especially ecological decentralism as a key way through which to realize anarchist ideals of a society lived in freedom and harmony. He held a dream of a democratic ecological society. The anthropologist James Scott takes the questions of agrarian livelihoods through an anarchist lens. In the book Moral Economy of the Peasant, he shows various micro-level risk calculations made by peasants to protect himself from the power structures that surround the agrarian economy, especially manifest in terms of debt, taxes, and so on, and how these model economies break as market forces are introduced. In this way, anarchists are interested in driving home the point that strategies may be evolved on social, political, economic, and ecological ways in which individuals can live in optimal freedom and harmony while avoiding bigger structures of capitalist modernity. In Bookchin's work, we find a visitation of anarchism through ecological viewpoint, but renouncing heavily mechanized and synthetic material lives that modernity offers and accepting our embeddedness in the nature's fold, he advocates anarchism may be practiced. He sees the ecological viewpoint as the conservative viewpoint of relationships between man and nature. In the next section, we'll see key themes and strategies he detailed for embracing ecology in an anarchist program. While advocating an embrace of the ecological viewpoint, Bookchin did not advocate a deep ecology point of view, that nature is a sacred and untouched system of its own, separate from human society. The social and natural permeate each other, he argued, in socially encasing the natural behaviors of human beings. Human fissures and conflicts are the root of all ecological problems. Accepting that nature's use is an essential feature of human life, he advocated an individualized and sensitive approach to use of nature, moving away from the exploitative, synthetic and mechanized form of material life that was practiced, especially in the US, under the influence of industrial capitalism. He argued for a critical ecology, not the ecology that is reduced to biological technocracy. He saw the ecological viewpoint as a conservative viewpoint about man's relationship with nature. This viewpoint was to be actualized by the left green movements who would carry with them a general interest. He believed identity-based movements are narrow and parochial and should be avoided for greater social change. Thus, he was furthering the mandate of the new left, wherein utopian qualities of equality and equitable social frameworks were given the mantle of the left. The structural and strategic changes Murray Bookchin advocated were along the following lines. Division of towns and cities in the form of confederations of self-governing municipal entities. These would implement self-sufficiency and some element of interdependence in production and consumption. Decreased use of synthetic and produced foods. Resurrection of human health through enough physical labor and avoidance of processed food. Organic agriculture on the principle of one man cultivating a variety of species in a patch of land or groups of people cultivating for their community or neighborhood. Reduction in scale of industrial operation and reliance on local raw materials. We don't find in the United States many takers or many legatees of Murray Bookchin's thought, but although Murray Bookchin really did not talk about the non-West, in the current world we can see in many non-Western countries indigenous movements taking up the principles of locally governed resource strategies and such like, taking forward Murray Bookchin's thought, perhaps inadvertently. We see examples of, say, the Chipko movement in India, where women were hugging trees in order to prevent them from a company lumbering them, which became a hallmark of eco-socialism and eco-feminism. We've seen these kinds of examples, some legacies of Murray Bookchin's thought, albeit he himself didn't really think about the non-Western situation so much. With that, we'll end the Murray Bookchin bit of our discussion.